Tear it all down. I built some walls by hand, caught it safe in mind, but it choked me out, it stole away my time. Old screens in the dark, open doors to my heart. Those secret things I hid, things I never would admit. So search me out, don't let me hide the weak spots. Burn through the pride if it drags me away. If it owes me today, take it off my life. Tear it down, tear it all down. Anything that stands between. Tear it down, tear it all down. Make my heart clean. I want you more. I want you first. Tear it down, tear it all down. Every heavy chain, every crooked lie, every good-looking thing that was killing me inside. If it sounds like me, but it isn't, you cut it at the root. Do what only you can do. So search me out, don't let me hide it. The weak spots, burn through the pride. If it drags me away, if it owns me today, take it off my life. Tear it down, tear it all down. Anything that stands between. Tear it down, tear it all down. Make my heart clean. I want you more. I want you first. Tear it down, tear it all down. Break the idol, break the room, break the habit, destroy the gloom. I lay it all at your feet till your holy voice is clear every time you speak. Tear it down. Tear it down. Every compromise. Tear it down. Every little lie. Tear it down. Every false embrace. Tear it down. Leave me standing in your grace. Tear it down. Tear it all down. Anything that stands between. Tear it down. Tear it all down. Make my heart clean. I want you more. I want you first. Tear it down. Tear it all down. Tear it down. All the way down.
Oh yeah.
Tear it down.
Tear it all down.
Till your name gets loud.
Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome into the Vital Axiom. That's a new little song I wrote. I was writing to my sermon for Sunday, and it came to me. Here's one I just worked on last night. It's called Over and Over. See if you like it.
I've seen you show up here when I thought you'd missed me. Right on time every time. You were already with me. I was trying to hold it, trying to make it work. You were steady in the dark, doing more than I deserved.
guys ready?
You were there then, you are here now. Same good father, same.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the Vital Axiom Network. So we broadcast this program daily, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time from the southwest tip of Virginia. United States of America, we call it the Vital Axiom. What is that? Well, the word vital means crucial, and the word axiom means truth. In this case, we call it crucially important, eternal truth. And the eternal is because we use the Word of God, the Bible, as the foundation for all these conversations. Here we go again. Over and over. How many guys can raise your hand and attest to the faithfulness of God? I was thinking last night about this song before I started working on it, and I was just talking about, how faithful God is and how He works in our lives and our hearts, and I'm just appreciative, and I wanted to express that in some way. And I thought over and over was good, because even though sometimes there's one line in there that I worked on. So you've done so much more than I deserve. If I got what I deserved, I wouldn't be here today. I'm grateful for God's mercy and His grace and His love and forgiveness. How you doing? Welcome into the show. Let's just jump in and start on the morning shout-outs. One of my favorite parts is just recognizing all you guys that are hanging out with us. And number 2505 today. Had a good weekend. We're going to talk about access today, which is my message yesterday. I really had fun sharing yesterday's message. Fun is not the right word, but just I was so blessed and enjoyed it so much. I'll start on Instagram. Miss Deborah's there. Good morning, Deborah. How you doing? Good to see you on here. And over on the Vital Axiom official Facebook page, let's see who's in there. Toby's in. Good morning, Toby and Joyce, my mother-in-law. Becca's there. Sean and Nicole were in there. Says, good morning. I hope all is well. And be a blessing to someone else. Come on, Amanda's in there, Dodie's in there, and was it Buongiorno? And then Miss Lisa is in there. Good morning, Lisa. There comes Carol. Carol pops on even as I'm looking at the screen. Over on Zion Family Ministries, Jim's there. Miss Peggy's there. Hope you're well. I'm getting there. It's been a process. I would say the last 6 months have been, not whining or anything, but some of the hardest of my life. But I'm getting there. Miss Margie got in. There's Teresa. How are you doing, Miss Boggs? Going to be an amazing week. I'll just hang on with you and believe that. Amen. Amber's there. Good morning, Amber. All the way from MI, which is that Michigan, right? See, MN is Minnesota. I'm terrible. What are you doing in Michigan? Good to see you in there. And over on my personal Facebook page, you'll see who's in there. Matt got in. He was the first person here today. Miss Lisa's in. Miss Dockery's in there. Kim and Jackie are in there. But there's people everywhere just coming out my ears. And so glad to have you guys on the Vital Axiom today. Let me give you a couple. Let me see. I got to switch over here to a different screen. Let me give you a couple images. This was the first image I showed yesterday. How many of y'all are familiar with that screen right there? Michigan, yes. That's what I thought. How many of y'all are familiar with this screen right here? I mean, this is a very big deal. This is the Apple iPhone access screen. You have to put in your code. You have to put in your passcode there. And this was the title of my message yesterday, based on Revelation 3:20, and we're going to get to that just in a minute. But I want you to think about access. Let me just I'll run quicker through some of these examples than I did in the service, but because I want to spend the week talking about the real bottom line for this subject. Good morning, Amber. Amanda, down there in Tennessee. Here's the question I asked the church yesterday. When you look at that picture, let me go back. When you look at this picture here and you think about this passcode, I want to ask you this question. Who in your life has that code? Who in your life has that passcode right there? Now, I would say one person in my life has it. That's my wife. Nobody else. Unless somebody snuck or hacked. Nobody else has that code to my phone. In fact, I went ahead and said this. Here's a question I asked the church. I said, who do you trust enough to give them access to your phone and drum roll, all of its contents. Because, you know, I don't know if it's a sad reality or a cool opportunity, cool development, but our whole lives are on our phones. A lot of us anyway. I'm pretty addicted to my phone, and I use it to create music and communicate, study the Bible. I mean, I just use this for so many things. Little miniature computer. Who do you trust that much? Who do you trust that much to have that passcode to your phone? Now, hopefully, if you're married, your spouse has it. They should have open access to your phone. If you want trouble in your marriage, just keep secrets. Anyway, we'll get to that later. But this is not about marriage, but I'll use it as an example. So, who would you be comfortable with? Or would you be comfortable with anybody just handing them your phone and say, here, unlock it, surf my messages and all my apps, and look where I've been browsing. Hey, Mom got in there. Good morning, Mom. Jeannie got in. And so I want you to think about it just for a minute. Who in your life do you trust? Who has access to that thing? And the name of this message this week is called Access. It's about access in life. And, man, it's really become a big deal these days. Think about this. Think about how much of your life requires some sort of access. I don't know if it's your cable box or your computer. I gave a list to the church. We lock our homes. Now, we have on our house, at least on one of the doors, we have one of those computer things that unlocks the door. You have to punch in a code. All the other doors of my house have keys that are specifically designed. The teeth are lined up to line up with the lock mechanism to open it. So I have to have access to get in my house, period. My front door has a code, and I think my wife might be the only person that has it. I would give it to my kids, but I don't think there's ever been a need for it. We lock our cars. You know, when you get a car, you get these two key fobs and keys, and they're very exclusive. People can't get in. Your cars won't even operate without them these days. We require access to our phones, as I've already showed you there in those pictures, right? And then we lock up our valuables. Like you might have a safe in your house, has a combination, one of those old combination dials. I have one of each. I have a small safe and a bigger safe for my guns and stuff. Combination, or maybe a digital combination. Here's the list I gave the church yesterday. We have passwords, pins, facial recognition, fingerprints. My Macs require my fingerprint to open. If I don't give that, it won't work. I can also put a passcode in. We have alarm systems that we engage or we arm at night so we can sleep peacefully and while we're gone. Security cameras, combination safes, two-factor authentication. I hate when that comes up. But all this incredible access. Here's what I said to the church. We protect the access to pretty much anything that matters. Bank account. I mean, how many people, just answer this, how many people have could take your credit card and go and you've given them the passcode to get cash at the ATM? Nobody, right? We protect access to pretty much anything that matters. Let's call it value. And so here's some other questions to answer in the same subject. Who has key to your house? Who knows the password to your phone? Who can log into your bank account? Who has your garage door passcode? My garage door has an external pad, and if you put the right code in, hit enter, it'll open for you. Who has permission to see your location? Y'all ever done that on your phone? You watched one of those Instagram videos. Go right now and delete this setting on your phone. And you took access for location away from all these apps so they can't track you. Who has combination to your safe? Conclusion, not of the message, but of the thought. Access is a huge deal. It is a huge deal. It is a big deal. And we don't just give access to anyone. Here's a couple points about access I want you to think about as we move toward the spiritual side of this. Access is earned. Access is intentional. I give access to someone on purpose. And sometimes I'm even hesitant then, like your social security number. Access is reserved for people we trust. That's going to be a big point later. For people we trust. Now, let's jump into the scriptures. Revelations 3:20. I'm going to read this to you from two translations, just because I like the way the one translation says, "Behold, I stand at the door." Now, let's just set a stage here. This is one of the 7 letters written to the 7 churches. John, who was the only disciple that wasn't martyred, even though he died imprisoned on Patmos, he didn't have his head cut off, or he wasn't crucified or burned boiled in oil. And so he wrote that he got these 7 letters from Jesus to give to the churches, and here's one of them. "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and sup with him, and he with me." So here we have Jesus standing outside knocking. Any man opens the door. Now, and then here's the Passion Translation. "Behold, I'm standing at the door knocking. If your heart is open to hear my voice and you open the door within, I will come in to you and feast with you, and you will feast with me." Wow, what a powerful thing. So think about this. This is the question I want you to wrestle with today. I'm not going to give it to you. I'll give you a couple thoughts before it. But this is what I want you to wrestle with all week, maybe the rest of your life. And in fact, I prayed yesterday, Lord, after I show people I'll show it to you. After I show people this picture right here, I pray that every time they open their phone, they'll think about this message. I deliberately use that because I want it to be a constant thought in your heart. And here's the question. First of all, let's look at the passage. What most Christians don't realize or haven't noticed, or might even be contrary, to their theology, is that verse is written to the church. Say what? Yeah, it's not written to sinners. It's not wrong for a pastor or an evangelist to say, "The Lord is knocking at your heart's door. Let him in. He said he would come in," Revelation 3:20. It's not wrong to use that because it's still true in that regard. But it's written to the church. Now, I want you to think about that just for a minute. "Behold, I stand at the door and knock," the door of the church. I mean, that's powerful. It's very, very, very shocking. Jesus was requesting access to the hearts of his own people. And you would have to kind of shake your head and go, "What?" Hey, Cassie, I see Cassie got in over there. I want to close this one. I want to open it back up because I feel like there's maybe somebody else there we haven't seen. Jesus was requesting access to his own people. There it is. Hold on. I'm trying to get it. It's not working. Facebook drives me crazy sometimes. Maybe all the time. I don't know. He was requesting access to the people of God. He was standing at the door, literally, of the church. Think about that just for a minute. Jesus, let me ask you a question. How much access does God have to your life? How much access does he have to your life? How much does he have to your heart? This letter is written to the church. Does he know your secret codes? Does he have the keys? And I'm not talking about to your house or your computer or your phone. I'm talking about to your life. Does he know your secrets? I mean, yeah, he knows, of course, because he knows everything, right? But does he have access to your secrets, or do you keep them hidden away? Does he have the keys to your life? Have you given him the passwords? I told the church yesterday, a lot of times, the passwords to our life are trouble, capital TROUBLE.111. When I have trouble, it's the only time I give God access, or need. Maybe the password is capital N, lowercase EED, apostrophe. Maybe that's the password to my life. When I have a need, suddenly Jesus is allowed in, invited in. It's kind of sad, but it's a reality. Can Jesus get past your security? The title of this message is Access. Think about that. Isn't it fascinating? I want you to think about a few thoughts about this verse. Isn't it fascinating? Jesus doesn't describe himself as breaking down the door. He didn't say, "Behold, I stand at the door with a battering ram, and whether you like it or not, I'm coming in." Look at the permission level that's here. Jesus says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock of the church." You got it. Not sinners. Okay, sinners, sure, yes. We call it conviction. But this is written to the church. "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." He's not busting in. He gives us the image of himself outside. I don't know if you know it or not. Maybe you don't know it. You can have church without God completely. There are a lot of churches every Sunday crank up, hit the pipe organ or whatever kind of music they're playing, and God is nowhere to be found. In fact, if you were to see in the Spirit, he'd be on the outside saying, "I'd love to come in if you'd invite me, if you'd open the door." Oh no, he's God. He comes in when he wants to. No, this is not what I've written. This is what the Lord written. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Well, he's talking about our individual lives. Is he? Is he only, or is it both, or is it all the above? He gives us the image of himself standing outside, knocking on the hearts of his own people. Where is Jesus in your life? Is it on the outside or inside? Well, I was saved. He lived in my heart. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you about access. Why would Jesus be on the outside doors of the church, of his people, of his children? Why would he be on the outside? It's so shocking. I'm trying to think of the word. Challenging. So curious. Why is Jesus on the outside? Here's my simple answer. They were obviously still controlling things in their own life, in their church, their situation, running their own lives. And they were doing it apart from his leadership, apart from his voice, apart from his guidance. Jesus says, "Here I am. You profess to know me. You're having a meetings in my name and declaring me from your podium, but I'm not allowed to come into your life and have any authority or say or leadership." Think about it just for a minute, because it's very powerful. Amber says, "This is good stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amber. Appreciate that so much. Here I am, and you're professing my name, and yet I'm not allowed to really have any say in your life." Something like this. Have you given God access to your life? Here's a thought. What levels? How many of you know we give people access at different levels? Like I'll give you my testimony. I'll tell you, well, I did this as a kid, but I may have lots of things that unless we become really, really good friends, you'll never, ever know about my life. Because I don't tell anybody. And there's some things I've never told his soul that I hope I've shared with the Lord. But does God, what level do you let him in? How far do you let God come into your life? What is it? What doors are open? Which doors are locked? Imagine your house with all the doors have access codes. And one room is your emotions, your feelings, your past. One room is your opinions. Which one of those does Jesus have access into? Secrets. What are you keeping secret? I know it sounds almost silly, but in reality, that's how we act. Or what about areas that are just too sensitive? Jesus, I don't want you in this room, because sure as you get in, you're going to break all my precious china. You're going to tear up all the things that I'm holding on to that I probably shouldn't have. Sensitive areas, comfort zones. Lord, I love doing this. I love being like this. And I know that if you get in here, if I let you in here, then you're going to point to this and go, "Hey, explain this to me." And I'm going to have to give an answer for what I'm doing or believing or feeling or acting or whatever it is, who I'm having a conversation with. Or maybe I should say, does God have access to your behavior? Or could I say, is there any intimacy with you and the Lord? This message is less about whether Jesus is in your life, but more focused on how much access he actually has to your life. Not whether, and I gave an example yesterday. Here's an example, and we're about out of time. Here's an example. Let's talk about marriage. Okay, so marriage is a thing where you make a covenant to somebody, and then you develop a life together. But I'm going to tell you something. I found out marriages are very, very different. Some marriages are married, but really just separate lives. They're just married. They have a covenant, but they're still married. But they live separate lives. Now, they might watch the same TV show. Maybe not even that. Maybe they have another TV in another room, and one person goes in there and one stays in here. Married but separate. Married but still have private things that they do. They keep away from their spouse. Married but secrets. See that? Still married. This is a perfect picture of our relationship with Jesus. Yeah, we're Christians. We got saved. You can tell the day, tell what happened, what you were going through. But really, have you really given access to all the parts of your life, all the levels of who you are? And, a lot of people could be married for years and years and years and never really become intimate. And I'm not talking about sexual. but never become intimate, knowledge-wise. Some people are married, but not friends. They're not really friends with each other. They're just in the same house. Here's what I told the church yesterday. You have the ring, but you don't have the transparency. Oh, this is so good, man. You have the ring, but you don't have the honesty. You have the ring, but you don't have the authenticity. You have the ring, but you don't have the vulnerability. I'm not going to become vulnerable to you. I don't trust you that much. You have the ring, but you're not accessible. He's the strong, silent type, but there's a reason for that. Is it just his personality? Sometimes it might be. Sometimes he doesn't trust you that much. He's been hurt before, and he's afraid you'll hurt him again. And the thing about it is, this is an example of how we treat Christ in our life. I'll say, yeah, I'm saved, but I'm not going to be transparent. Yeah, I'm saved, but I'm not going to be really totally honest. Yeah, I'm saved, but I'm not really authentic. Yeah, I'm saved, but I'm not really vulnerable. Yeah, I'm saved, but I'm not giving you access. I gave you access to my sins. That's all you get. I love this statement, and I guess I'll have to close with this because I'm past time. I love this statement. God's presence is available to everyone. However, his influence is limited to the access we give him. Now, that's such a powerful, wow. I think I'll put some country music on here to see. That's a powerful thought. Let me read it again. God's presence is available to everyone. However, his influence is limited to the access we give him. I ask you a question. You might know God's presence, but are you experiencing his influence in your life? How many of y'all know Jesus is coming soon?
I'm not trying to guess the time.
Let's do our close and I'll get back to you.
I'm just trying to live it now. Got work on my hands today. There's things I need to do. If you come even when I'm busy, I wanna be ready to go with you.
Thanks for watching the show today, guys.
No reason to take a risk. No reason to look away.
Here we go.
The door opens up.
I love this chorus. Just a little bit, and then I'll take your comments.
This could be the day. This could be the minute when the trumpet sounds, when our King comes to get us. This could be the day. This could be the time. So
Let's see if we got any comments as we get out of here over here on the Zion Family Ministries page. Peggy Porter says, so good, Pastor. Thank you, hon. That's so very kind of you. Over on my personal page, let me see. I'm sorry, on the Vital Axiom official page. Great word, brother. It's Sean. Rose got in. Hey, Rose. I thought you forgot to say good morning. Well, good morning to you. Dodie said, you're bringing it today, bro. Thank you so much. Anybody else got anything to say before we get out of here? I love your comments. Don't ever forget that I love that. Let's see over here on Instagram. Prince says he has my whole heart. That's awesome. Praise God. Deborah said, have a great day. Anybody else got any comments before we go? Hey, man, I just ask you, are you ready to meet the Lord? I mean, he might come for you before he comes for all of us, but he's coming soon. This could be the day.
This could be the minute when the trumpet sounds, when the King comes to get us.
Hey, Matt. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Amanda. Have a great day. Thank you, Becca.
This could be the day. If you came tonight, I want my lamp burning bright. I want my heart full of peace. I want my feet in the light.
Oh, I love it.
So I'll speak your name. I'll stand my ground. I keep my eyes on the cross till I hear that angel cry out.
Where we just open up.
This could be the day. This could be the minute when the trumpet sounds, when our King comes to get us. This could be the day. This could be the time. So I'm telling
Come
everybody,
quickly, Lord
he's
Jesus.
only coming for his bride. Oh, this could be the day. Watch and pray.
Oh, man.
Stay ready.
I can feel that one. I feel it.
He's coming soon. Watch and pray. Stay ready. This could be the day he comes for you. like a thief in the night. No
Love
man
you guys.
knows the hour.
Have a good day.
No man knows the day.